Canada and India's ties. It is a ties. Those ties have in fact strained beyond repair to an extent.
Yeah.
So the damage is going to be profoundly felt in both the countries, especially with Trudeau making these huge allegations about Indian agents being involved in the killing of Niger. But then there is a huge question about how Canada is shielding a lot of terrorists and criminals with their citizenship. That has also been raised. But the United States, which is a neighbor and close ally of Canada, and having a strategic partnership with India, United States has in fact gone ahead and said that take a look at how things are happening in this place. I think we have to look into that particular aspect. So I was looking at that statement that John Kirby was putting out. You were also reading out. Give me some parts of that.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the headline has said that cooperate with the probe, US urges India. The White House National Security Council spokesperson Adrian Watson has said that we are coordinating and consulting with Canada closely. This is a serious matter and we support Canada's ongoing law enforcement. We are also engaging Indian government, and US Ambassador Eric Garsati has also urged India to cooperate with the probe being conducted by the Canada, and he has come out and said that those responsible for Niger's death should be held accountable. So even the US is, is deeply concerned, and they are not in support, they are not favoring Canada as of now directly, but they just want to get to the crux of the matter. They are urging India to cooperate with them. He is saying that those responsible should be held accountable, hope traditional friends and partners can cooperate to get to the bottom of it. So US is coming out as a peace negotiator between India and Canada and is saying that, please guys cooperate with each other. Let's do a proper investigation of the matter. Let's get to the bottom of this and, let's talk about what is happening actually. So it's good that US is not taking a strong side right now, but they are also supporting the investigation. They're saying that let's, if India has done nothing wrong and if Trudeau's allegation are actually true or not true, let's find it out. Let's we request the India to cooperate with it and let's end this matter peacefully. And Trudeau also, although he made allegations like he came out and he said that we are expelling the Indian diplomat because we think there are links, and then next day he came out and he said that we are not trying to provoke anything, we don't want this matter to escalate.
Because the fact remains is that Trudeau, being from the left liberal, or the liberals as they were called, is dependent on the votes of the ethnic minorities, and so he cannot let a constituency go, and he's going to face elections in the next year itself. So it is quite a kind of a catch-22 situation that he's in and Canada is in. But let's listen into what the US diplomat had to say on this. I think we have Eric White. Let's take a look at it.
Definitely.
Canada is a dear friend, partner, ally, trading partner, and happens to be our northern neighbor. We care deeply for Canada, just as we care deeply for India and Indians. And I think that moments like this don't define our relationship, but they certainly can slow down progress. And they're gut checks for everybody to say, how do we interact with each other? What do we stand for? How do we enforce ideas like sovereignty and international law? And what are our responsibilities to one another? So, and I'm sure somebody's going to ask the question, so let me just kind of say more of a statement that, obviously, any allegations like this should be troubling to anyone. But with an active criminal investigation, I hope that we can make sure that perpetrators are brought to justice and that we can all allow the space for that information and that investigation to occur before anybody leaps to judgment. And to me, that's the most important role I think each one of us can play. Sovereignty is a very important principle. As you've heard our National Security Council spokesperson, our State Department spokesperson, White House spokesperson say, we've been in regular communication. I'm the son of a prosecutor, so I know when there are criminal investigations, it's best to leave things at that until we know more information.
So you have Garsati's statement there, and also I'll just read out what John Kirby was, giving out details when he was asked about that particular aspect. So he said, we believe fully transparent, comprehensive investigation is the right approach to what we can call how exactly what happened, and of course we encourage India to cooperate with that. Then he also was asked that whether, the Five Eyes intelligence sharing partnership that they have with Canada knew what the allegations were based on. Kirby said like this, he said, in terms of the fallout, if the allegations were true, Kirby said once the facts were available, you can start to look at recommendations or behaviors you might want to pursue. You know, kind of quite ambiguous about it. The fact remains is that the US also knows what is national interest. It has pursued terrorists across its borders. They've gone all the way to Afghanistan, half the world around. They have operations, covert operations that they do carry for their country's interests. But of course, they understand probably what we are talking about. The US is going to stay in touch with both the countries, and they are trying to probably play that mediator role, is what we understand. So it looks like they're saying cooperate with the investigation. Let's find out what is exactly happening. But that doesn't stop at that. Now, these are very serious allegations. They have said that, you know, government agents are involved. But the fact remains over here is that is Khalistani is Canada Khalistan now? Because Canada's institutions as a country, you have sympathizers of Khalistan infiltrating Canada's institutions. They have a hold on their Prime Minister, Trudeau, who is hiding behind the fact that, you know, these people have Canadian citizenship and therefore they have freedom of speech. But your Canadian citizen is asking for violence against India. You have people who've come and openly made statements of violence against its diplomats, its people, and also attacks to be carried out on them. And they've even threatened asking them to leave your Canada. So one Canadian citizen is asking another Canadian citizen to leave the country. A serious allegation that is also that needs to be leveled and spoken about when it comes to Canada. So has Canada given way to Khalistani sympathizers to take over their institutions of their country that negotiate with the world to actually put out their propaganda? That's the big question that they should be asking.
Exactly, and you're definitely right without saying that, you know, why is Canada shielding, why is Canada becoming a hub for terrorists, why is Canada becoming a hub for Khalistani activities? Because, you know, and when we think about it, I don't first of all, it was so confusing to me, why is Trudeau defending Sikh so much? But then when you read about it, there are 18 MPs who are Sikh in the Canadian Assembly. So, you know, they hold a political power there. Now then we have Punjabi, the third most, you know, spoken language in Canada as well. So the influence, whether it's culture, whether it's political, it's at a large impact. It has a large impact on the Canadian politics, on the Canadian culture. And I get it that Trudeau is trying to defend, you know, his electoral gains. He's trying to defend his political you know, political interest at this point. But my question to, you know, Trudeau would be that what if instead of a Khalistani terrorist, we were talking about an ISIS agent who was, you know, doing anti-USA activities and was hiding in Canada by saying that I'm a Canadian citizen? Would Trudeau be defending him as well? So, you know, these are some semantics that I think that, you know, Trudeau really needs to figure it out, because this is not how it's going to work. Because you are defending a terrorist there who is going out there and doing anti-India activities. And then you have diplomatic relations with the country, and now you're portraying the country as somebody who, you like we tried to kill, or we are planning a murder of somebody or Canadian citizen.
And in fact, India has raised those concerns. It's saying that Canada loved Niger's citizenship when India demanded his arrest. This is the Tribune's report. The long pending citizenship application of Hardeep Singh Nijjar was okayed by Canada within months after Red Corner notice RCN was issued against them. Canada needs to, in fact, explain why a person with an RCN notice has been given citizenship. So, acting on the RCN, which is issued through Interpol, a country has to arrest the accused and deport him or her. However, Canada did the exact opposite.
Yeah, and
today you're preaching about, you know, trying to put in these allegations. You have invited these people there, and they are using your country's institutions. They are souring your country's relationship with the world's 5th largest economy. 13 billion is what the kind of trade that we have with Canada. Canadian companies have been working in India. Indian investments have also been moving into Canada. It's going to hurt you. It's going to hurt you more than what is going to hurt us.
Yeah, they have to think about these allegations, and it's just not the, you know, the India is obviously questioning them, and the India is giving a tit-for-tat move. You expel our diplomat, we are going to expel you issue a travel advisory, we are going to issue an advisory. But Trudeau is also facing criticism within his own country as well. The opposition leader, Pierre, who came out and he said that, you know, it's high time now that, you know, Trudeau is saying on Monday also, while addressing the House of Commons, he came out and he said that we have credible claims, we had credible evidence against India, we are going to, you know, investigate them. So the opposition leader came out and said that even you forget about India, even we as Canadian citizens don't know what the facts are. So it's high time, dude, you need to come clean with all the facts so that Canadian citizen we can also make a judgment that what is happening with the country. Why are we really sheltering terrorists? Are we really not? Is India really actually?
I think Canada should ask that question.
Yeah.
To whom have they given? Are these citizens in Canada who raised Khalistani issue, are they loyal citizens of Canada, or are they actually dreaming about using the citizenship of Canada for their imagined country of Khalistan? Is that the issue? If that is the case, they are not loyal to Canada.
Definitely.
They are using your institutions. They are actually moving in and they are sabotaging your relationship with another country. So you have to be looking into those aspects. Interestingly, one more small statement before we move on. Niger regularly met Canadian intel officials, is what his son has been saying, that the son of slain terrorist Hardeep Singh Niger has told the Canadian media that his father regularly met with Canadian intelligence officials in the months before he was shot dead in June. Balraj Singh Niger, 21, said his father met with Canadian Security Intelligence Services once or twice a week, including 1 or 2 days before the June 18 murder, is what he said.
Yeah,
So
the problem that we had with Pakistan is now going to start with Canada, that stop funding and sheltering terrorists. That
especially
is-
Khalistani elements. I mean,
Yeah,
and this
especially.
doesn't happen with Justin Trudeau. Trudeau's father, Pierre Trudeau, also. There were times when Indira Gandhi did raise the issue about Khalistani extremists in Canada, and she got a cold shoulder at that time also. So Canada has a history, and I don't think so Canada fully understands what is happening to their citizens. You giving citizenship is fine. The question is, are those citizenship coming citizens taking over your country's political institutions and using it for their vested interests, where their vested interests to push their agenda? If that is the case, your country is being taken over by extremists.